This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, come on in. Time to get this show on the road. First order of business, though, please help me in welcoming back to the show our very own Kenny B. Yes, after a week hiatus, he is back, ready to go, including this, which is today's lineup.
Absolutely. Let's get started. Coming up, he already holds 2 state records for pumpkins, but this Bowersville farmer wanted more. So he created a one-of-a-kind pumpkin, something better suited for ghouls and goblins. Also on the show, the Georgia Peanut Tour makes its return, and what a return it was. A large crowd, a plethora of information, and for the first time ever, some very special guests, a group that will hopefully help others look to the future.
And then later, with his 95th birthday looming, one would think this Georgia Farm Bureau icon would put the daily grind of farm life behind him, right? Yeah, not a chance. Henry West on what keeps him going and his years of service in one of the largest general farm organizations. These stories and so much more start right now. Well, autumn is officially in the air, and you know what that means. No, I am not talking about pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin spice cookies, pumpkin spice toothpaste or face cream. But yes, I am talking about pumpkins in general. With that in mind, pumpkin patches across the state are about to ramp things up in the next few weeks, including Smith's Farms, which is working on a one-of-a-kind variety. Damon Jones has the story from Hart County.
Big or small, white or orange, rough or smooth, there are literally dozens of variety of pumpkins to choose from when decorating your house. And many of them can be found right here at Smith's Farms Pumpkin Patch in Bowersville, where they've been serving the community for the past 4 years.
Oh, I enjoy it a lot. I got a lot of local people that come, and I got a lot of people out of town that come. And I got the patch here, you know, they can come here and go out in the field and find them one, you know, and pick. You can't do that a lot of places. And I figured it'd be good for the kids, you know, to go out and see how they're growed and, you know, see the whole operation.
And if that weren't enough, Smith has also been hard at work on a groundbreaking creation that's been a passion project over the past few years and was all inspired by a fascination from his daughter.
Well, my kid, she likes glow-in-the-dark stuff, and I do myself, especially something that glows, you know, never stops glowing. So I just started tinkering around with stuff and come up with something, you know, that would work. And I've been experimenting on it, and I had 2 breeds that took the stuff pretty well.
After hundreds of hours of research and development and thousands of dollars spent, this is the prototype that was created. This glow-in-the-dark pumpkin is recharged by the sun and will stay lit throughout the night thanks to a time-consuming process.
There's about 12 steps I got to do to come up with the stuff I need, and then I got to turn it back to a liquid, and you know, it's a lot of steps to it, but it pays off.
After those years of hard work, this variety could be on the market as soon as next fall. And once it is, there will certainly be no shortage of potential consumers.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people interested in it and wants to buy them, so hopefully next year, you know, I'll have it all ready to go. I'm trying to figure out the patent. You know, you can't patent a fruit or vegetable. You can patent a seed or a plant. You just can't patent what it puts off. You know, I'm still trying to figure it out.
While he does, Smith will continue his labor of love in the fields, tending to a crop that takes copious amounts of perseverance in order to grow here in the state.
Pretty neat growing them, watching them grow. They grow so fast, and it's sort of a challenge. I like the challenge of it. And where we're at in Georgia, the humidity is sort of hard to grow, and you know, I just like the challenge. And I learn something every year. You know, I get a little better. And I'm gonna try 45 acres next year. Be the biggest I've ever did by hand.
Reporting from Hart County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Meantime, Georgia peanuts were on display as the annual Georgia Peanut Tour showcased the ins and outs of the industry. This year's tour, however, was a special one. Not only was it the first one post-COVID, But for the first time, a group of educators got to tag along with the hopes of encouraging ag education in curriculum. John Holcomb has the story.
Recently in Tifton, more than 200 people attended this year's Georgia Peanut Tour. Now in its 34th year, the event gives those in attendance the chance to see the peanut industry from top to bottom, everything from peanut digging to harvesting, something those in the industry say is a great way to educate people on the state's official crop.
Peanuts is a huge part of who we are here and our culture and the livelihood around us, the car dealers, the grocery stores. A lot of everything in South Georgia depends on peanuts. And we like to highlight that and educate people. People are very interested in this crop. And so we need the support of the general public to keep doing what we're doing. And this is one way we can educate people and help them realize why we do things the way we do.
This year, Georgia Farm Bureau, along with the Georgia Peanut Commission, sponsored teachers to come along for the tour, something Lauren Goble, Educational Programs Coordinator with Georgia Farm Bureau, says is a great way to encourage ag education in schools.
Opportunities like this just don't come around very often. So to be able to sponsor these teachers to come along with the Georgia Peanut Commission, to have them come out, get to see in practice the new technology that's being used, the amount of research that is attached to growing peanuts. I think we take for granted that when we want peanut butter, those fresh boiled peanuts, that they're going to be there. So to have these teachers come out, see the peanut production in person, and then take that excitement and their new knowledge and share it with the kids is very impactful.
One of those teachers was Molly Guy, a math and science teacher in Cherokee County, who just wanted to tag along to learn more about the Georgia peanut industry.
I was curious to see what could I learn about the peanut industry and how I could incorporate that into my classroom, especially with so many schools being peanut free because of all the allergy issues that students have today. So I just want to know what could I do to enlighten my students about peanuts as a product, as well as one of the major agricultural products in our state.
After getting to see the ins and outs of the industry, Guy says that she's surprised at what all goes into making peanut production possible, especially in terms of math, science, and engineering, and is excited to take that back to her classroom.
I told some of the other participants that I was going to take a jar of peanuts and just put it in the room and ask the kids to tell me how many scientists do you think it took to get this product to you, because we don't really equate the science behind the products that come to our table. And I've got a list of already 10 different scientists that it takes just to make peanuts a profitable product to produce, as well as a healthy product.
Goble believes that this is just the beginning, as the impact of this tour on teachers like Molly will have long-lasting effects.
What's great about this is these teachers will gain a lot of knowledge today and take that back to their school and to their school system friends. This is like throwing a pebble into a pond. So they're starting that ripple, and not only will it impact teachers, it's going to impact students not only this year but for years to come.
Reporting in Tifton for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
John, thanks so much. Now, after the break, more peanut talk with farmer Clay Hood of Emmanuel County. Plus,
I don't have no intention of slowing down. I don't see no way unless times just get where we can't make it.
his contributions to Georgia Farm Bureau worthy of an entire show, really. Ray's heartwarming feature with Mr. Henry West when the Farm Monitor continues.
I'm Clay Hood here at Canochie Creek Farms. I am part owner and sole operator. My father has retired and he is still financially involved in some points of the farm, but I am here by myself running the operation. We're here in Emmanuel County, and I farm about 800 acres. I have about 60 head of brood cows, and about 65% of our row crop is irrigated. Now I grow cotton and peanuts, of course, and during the winter times I'll grow oats, rye, and sorghum, mainly for cover crop, grazing, and then feed. My parents grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. They had no farming background whatsoever. But my father was real big in 4-H, and he always loved to be involved in agriculture. After about 2 years of managing that farm, he wound up buying the home place and was farming at night. And then in 1970, he decided to make the transition and go full-time farming. Thus, that's when Canochie Creek Farms was established. I am here today to try to continue on my parents' legacy, and hopefully I'll improve the farm from what he did. And then if my kids decide that's what they want to do, or whoever takes over the farm when I'm done, they'll improve it even more. Farming is a tough life, but it's a good life. You have your ups and your downs. It's a great place to raise your kids. It's a good opportunity for you to teach them how to have a good work ethic that they'll have for the rest of their lives.
Well, happy birthday to Georgia Farm Bureau legend Henry West. On October 15th, Mr. Henry will celebrate 95 trips around the sun, the majority of which were spent helping GFB become the grassroots organization we all know and love today. And speaking of love, despite what his birth certificate may say, Mr. Henry refuses to let his age stop him from doing what he loves most, driving his tractor or his gator and working the land every chance he gets. On his son's farm in Rydell, Georgia, one of the first things that greets you is this, a sign that reads, "The best memories are made on the farm." Henry West agrees, and having spent the majority of his life on a farm, Henry has a lot of memories, most of which are good ones.
Well, I grew up about 2 miles south of here, and in '59, my dad, he retired, so I bought his farm. I bought this here in '54. And I started in chicken business. Then we rode turkeys. I've been all around. And now we're in cattle and hay mostly.
And you've been around it for so long. What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen taking place?
Well, a lot of people moved in. Farms have changed. So farming is going out really around here. All down in around 41 down through there, big warehouses. And around here, a lot of houses, all farms cutting up, going into houses, people moving in.
No, it's certainly not the Gordon County he left behind in 1948 to join the Army. But then again, Henry will be the first to tell you he's a person who values change and progress. Maybe that explains why in 1971, long after his military days were over, Henry made a life-changing decision to join Farm Bureau. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, we first started off as president of the county out here, and we kept growing and growing, and we got a good field man, and so he talked me into running for board one time, and I didn't think I had time, but you make time. Somehow or another, it always works out. But I enjoyed the board, I enjoyed the people.
"37 years of service as president of the Gordon County Farm Bureau." So says the plaque on the building which forever bears his name. And yet, Henry has never wavered about where his heart truly lies. And that's on a farm, in a tractor, basically anything to do with agriculture.
you're going to be 95, but yet you want to be out there every single day if you can. You know, you want to get in that tractor. Where's the drive and the determination come from?
I don't know. Just willpower, I guess.
It's all willpower?
I just don't like to sit around.
And do you credit farm life, you know, with 95 years of prosperity and good health?
Yeah, I was in the grocery business once to start with, and I didn't like that. I got out here in the country. Mm-hmm. And I don't have no intention of slowing down. Mm-hmm. I don't see no way unless time just gets where we can't make it.
And when you look back at your contributions, whether it be a policy or, you know, stuff that you helped with here in the county, what are you most proud of?
Oh, I don't know, just a lot of good people happy and a lot of courage, I guess.
He is one amazing man, quite a character too. When we come back, high schoolers, listen up. If supervised research in agricultural, food, and environmental science sounds interesting, then UGA has just the perfect program for you. And it pays. That's next when the Farm Monitor continues.
I decided that I wanted to be part of the Young Scholars Program as a mentor because when I was an undergraduate, I wanted to go to vet school, and that was all I knew that I wanted to do. And I started working for a researcher as a student worker, and that really changed my life because I started to see how scientists think, why they do what they do, how science is actually performed in the real world. And that changed my approach to pretty much life in general. But that was what made me become a scientist, was actually getting to see it done. Being a mentor it's exciting. We get to meet new students, and being around young people keeps us all younger than we really are. And it's a really good experience to be around it, but to see that enthusiasm and to be able to educate a student in things early on where they can see, is this the way I want to go with my career? Do I want to do science? Or do I discover that this is something I really don't want to do? Either answer is a great answer. You know what you want to do. And that's part of the fun, is being the student getting to see this is what their future is going to hold, and seeing those light bulbs go on for where they want to go in the future.
I mentored young scholars because I believe in the opportunity of giving the students the chance to know about the vast opportunities in the ag sector. The Young Scholars Program is, in my opinion, one of the best platforms, because in order to get students interested in ag and bring them in, they need to feel comfortable and know that when they transfer to UGA, they will find a friendly environment where they can learn.
It is important for CAES to take the initiative to recruit young scholars to our program because they represent the future. And in fact, the more they know about what we do, the more they are attracted to coming here. They know the people that they are likely to work with, the people that are likely to teach them when they are here. So when eventually they come, it is not as if they are being introduced to a totally strange environment. It is like coming back home. And the earlier we bring this program to them, help them to come to our lab and see what we do, the better it is. when they are making the decision as to where they go for advanced studies.
So over the years, the Young Scholars Program has become the premier pre-collegiate program on campus. Many other colleges have looked to us as to how to set up their own programs. I think this program is unique in that students spend 6 weeks on campus. They get paid for their experience. They work in our labs and they see firsthand what it'd be like to be a student at UGA. So we think it's been a great program. It's impacted a lot of students, their communities. We hope that by being a Young Scholar, they will see some future they may not have even thought about.
Finally this week, boll rot, whiteflies, and how one producer is preparing for harvest season.
Those subjects and more in this latest feature from the Georgia Cotton Commission.
I'm Wes Shannon. I'm a cotton farmer from Tifton, Georgia. We're in one of my fields here on our farm in Tift County. This is really the earliest patch of cotton we planted this year, and it's September 1. We have a few bolls beginning to open around the bottom. Had some cloudy weather. Moisture-wise, we're in good shape right now. We'd like to see some sunshine. I don't think we're too bad boll rot in this field so far. Probably a few weeks away from defoliation, I would say. I'm going to be mowing around some ends and some fields today, and got a few peanuts to spray. We're maybe in a little bit of a lull on the farm right now compared to some of the other time. We're pretty well through with the herbicides that we're going to be using. We are spraying for some whiteflies around the area now. Have been for a month or so. Got a few of those still to do. Keeping up with the stink bugs and keeping those sprayed. We're getting ready for harvest here in a few weeks. It's the right kind of season for boll rot in this earlier cotton. It's so much beginning to open up, and we've had adequate rain. It's not been big rains and then sunshine. It's been little rains and cloudy weather for days in a row and things like that. So we've got the right mix for some boll rot to happen, especially in some of this better cotton, I think. We've been fighting a whitefly for a month or so around here, and if you don't know what a whitefly is, it's sort of like a gnat, but it's white, and it'll attack a cotton plant or any other green plant that's growing in the field and sort of sucks the juice out of it. So we're trying to keep those at bay as much as possible. This particular field has been sprayed a couple of times already. We're hoping we're further enough along. We may not have to spray again, we're hoping, but we've got some other parts of the county that's sort of hotbeds for it, quite a bit of vegetables around, and we sprayed that pretty hard a couple of times already. It was good to see the market turn back up a little bit. We hope this market's going to hold, and I think it probably will. We need it to with the cost of production this year, the fertilizer and the fuel and the other things that have cost us more. We should be celebrating greatly above $1 a pound cotton, but with our expenses, I think we still got a possibility of making some money, but we've got to have a good crop. I've had a few farmers tell me they're looking forward to the end of this year. And we may get that place most every year, but I'm still quite optimistic that we're going to pull this one out. The crop looks pretty good. Probably if there's any issue I have with it right now is our stands were skippy when we started, and I'm hoping they have compensated for it. But looking forward to a lot of rows of that white cotton showing up here in a little while.
A big thanks to the Georgia Cotton Commission for that. Before we go now, a friendly reminder that for all the latest ag news regarding food, recipes, and what's happening out on Georgia farms, be sure you check out all of our social media platforms, including farm-monitor.com.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. As always, stay safe. Have a great week.